responsibility and trust, is a big topic and very important. At Social Native, we are a technology platform that is essentially, building amazing pieces of content through the world of people. And since we are a content provider, part of it from a responsibility perspective doesn't apply. However, when we are talking about content that might be distributed through creators or influencers, it's super important to make sure that the creators that are sharing the content have real followers and real engagement. So there's a massive amount of fraud that's going on out there. We have tools internally in the system that prevent us from working with certain creators that have somewhat suspect followers or bots or spammy type people from all around the world. So I think one of the most important things to think about is, first and foremost, is to think about technology platforms and providers that have safety in place in the platform. If you're going out and you're just reaching out to creators or influencers like on your own, there's a lot of data that you don't know, right? And I think there's also an incredible amount of touch points that go on in figuring out, do you want them to create content? How much are you going to pay them? What are the licensing rights? What are the agreements? We've looked into this, and there's over 250 touch points per person when we're talking about even a single piece of creative. So I think one of the first things that most brands and agencies should really think about is, how could I work with a platform that alleviates all of that from the start? One thing that I'm super excited about, and I see a lot of our clients are starting to do this, is really thinking about creating content that appeals to a diverse group of people. Not a one-size-fits-all, here's our 5 pieces of creative, let's blast it out to millions of people. Let's really think methodically about, here's the content that we want to produce from various demographic segments or psychographic segments, skateboarders, yoga enthusiasts, people who love to fish. And then take that content and actually target people who are interested in those with the brand identity. And I'm starting to see that more and more than ever before, which is great because platforms like Facebook and Instagram and many others provide such a rich and robust set of data that no one's taking advantage of when they're thinking about content. They're doing the targeting and they might change the copy, but they're not thinking about the content to match it. So I'm starting to see a lot more people actually doing that. And for the first time ever, because there are platforms like us and others, brands are starting to say, oh, I could do this and it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. There's a ton of brands that are doing a great job. Maple Hill Creamery is one of our clients. They're an up-and-coming company that develops grass-fed milk and yogurt products, and everything about them is all about, how do you push a new product to a consumer? So one thing that they did analysis and they did research on this. They're like, hey, we want to target moms and dads who have young kids, and we want to get them to try our milk, and we want to get them to create content. And so they created thousands of assets with families who shop at Whole Foods, who shop at Publix, who shop at Walmart. And some of the content that came back, they loved that now they actually, if you go to Whole Foods, you can see some of the creators' kids on the packaging of the milk carton. And so they're using social and UGC and what works to actually put it on a physical container, which is, merging the art of social and physical doesn't happen often. So it's really cool to see that.